Hi, today's episode is 3 ways to generate B2B sales leads using Twitter. And the first tip I want to talk about is creating a buyer-centric profile. And I recommend utilizing your LinkedIn profile, which I'm sure you have built out, as a model for building out your Twitter profile. Make sure that they are consistent so that if somebody looks you up on Twitter or they look you up on LinkedIn, they don't get a sense that you're a completely different person. And part of that trust building is consistency. So that's the first part of building a buyer centric profile. The second thing I'm going to recommend is making sure that you insert a hashtag or two into your bio, something that's going to be specific to your niche and your target audience and is going to make you more searchable on Twitter and more easily found by your potential buyers and prospects. In this instance, I'm using social selling as the hashtag because that's a hashtag that I want to be known for and I want to be searchable for that particular area of interest. And the last thing to touch on is make sure that you link your LinkedIn profile to your Twitter profile by utilizing the website option in your profile. Unless you're driving somebody to a specific landing page or your own website, I definitely suggest pointing people to your LinkedIn page so that they can take a kind of more formal step in engaging with you and, of course, a little bit more of a professional approach by messaging and connecting on LinkedIn so that you not only have a personal connection on Twitter, but also a more professional connection on LinkedIn, and you start to have a more 360-degree relationship with your buyers and prospects. The second thing that Twitter is extremely useful for in terms of building B2B leads, sales opportunities, and potential revenue is the ability to listen on Twitter for buying signals, triggers, and opportunities that you can jump in on and be valuable to a potential prospect or find somebody that might be already in the funnel. For example, one of the things that you can do is find some of your competitive sales reps at other companies using the Twitter search. In this instance, I'm using IBM. And I use the search term IBM Digital Sales. Here we can see a number of members of that digital sales team. And the one thing I'd recommend is adding them to a list, but making sure that that list is kept private. You'll notice that when you create a list on Twitter, you have the option of selecting public or private. Selecting private makes sure that they don't know they're added to that list and others can't see that you've created that list or can subscribe to it. So it's your little secret and you're able to create that list, add as many people as you want to it and see who they're connecting with, see who they're talking with. Perhaps you can jump in and learn a little bit on some of the prospects that they're already having conversations with. One of the other things that you can do is search Twitter to monitor for buying. Use the right search terminology and Boolean operators. You can create some fairly robust searches that capture some pretty interesting things, and you'd be actually surprised. And we're going to look at a few examples. So first, a B2B example. You can see in the search bar, I've put the word demo and antivirus, and I've found that by putting the words or the operator minus HTTP, which takes out any tweets with links in it, that way I can really narrow it down to people who are having conversation versus people who are sharing content. So that's one of my little tricks that I'll share with you today in terms of identifying potential buying signals. And in this case, we actually see just in one quick search, there's a couple people right off the bat that are expressing purchase intent around potential antivirus vendors or softwares. It might be useful to connect, jump in, and take that conversation offline to a more formal buying channel such as phone or email. And of course, from a B2B perspective, or sorry, a B2C perspective, we can see it in even a more abundance. So again, here I've just simply put the words need hotel Chicago with a question mark. Of course, I could have put minus HTTP in as well to make that search a little bit more tight. But in this case, we can identify several folks that are looking for a hotel in Chicago. Might be worthwhile for anybody working at a hotel to get out there and reach out to these individuals right away. And of course, just to have a little fun, there's a lot of people out there with some interesting things that you may come across. So if you're into that, there's some personal leads for you as well. The last thing I'll talk about in the third tip for generating B2B sales leads using Twitter is having a content strategy for yourself to make the biggest impact on your buyers, prospects, and on the buying funnel. In this case, I'm going to recommend making sure that you identify, find, and curate some content that your buyers find useful that they read on a daily basis. If you're selling to CIOs, you might want to focus on trusted technology sources, sources that are going to be talking about topics that are valuable to your buyer. And by sharing those, you start to cement yourself as a trusted advisor, somebody who adds value on a regular basis. But it's not only useful to publish that content out, you have to do it strategically. And I recommend using hashtags to reach more people with your content, so to say. So by using hashtags that your buyers or prospects may be using, you're able to reach people that are not directly following you, and then gain followers that are important, such as potential prospects. So if I want to be known for social selling because I want vice presidents of sales to know who I am, and to those who are concerned about adding social into the sales process, if they're going to be using this hashtag, I certainly want to be in front of their eyeballs, make myself known, trusted, and of course valuable. So making sure that you understand which hashtags are valuable to your buyers and sharing content to them when applicable. And last but not least, I think all of the stuff we spoke about today, it can all be executed natively on Twitter, but it can take a long time to do if you're doing it natively. So I do recommend finding a software vendor who provides a technology that can help you do all this from one easy view, and give yourself more time to get back on the phone and close more deals. If you're looking to gather more information, more insights, or to have a conversation about how to leverage Twitter or social media in your B2B sales process, you can contact us at any of these methods.